What's up everybody, Brian Earhart here with Team Discraft and the Disc Golf Network, and you're watching another episode of Level Up. We are here at the Discraft factory in Wixom, Michigan, and today we are going to take a step outside the circle. We're going to be talking about Circle 2 putting. Let's get into it. It used to be said for a very long time that if you just made all of your Circle 1 putts, you would dominate your local scene. But as we've seen on the professional side over the years, Circle 2 putting and beyond is becoming more and more important to separating yourself from the rest of the field. Now, when I played on the Disc Golf Pro Tour and traveled the country playing this game professionally, my Circle 2 putting was definitely not my strong suit. It was only after I stopped competing that I saw in new players the ticket to learning a solid Circle 2 putt. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So I was spending some time on a disc golf course one day and a group of brand new players were playing ahead of me. And rather than playing through, I just sat back, took my time, and just observed how they played the game. And something that I thought was funny is that players who are brand new, they don't know the Circle 1 rules. They don't know that you have to maintain balance on short putts inside 10 meters. So what they do from tap-in range is they step putt. They do what players do from Circle 2 and beyond. They try to step in front of their lie and get it in the basket as easy as they possibly can. And through watching them, I realized step putting can be pretty simple and it can be legal. There can be no guesses if you approach it the way that brand new players approach it. So what I did to develop a step putt from shallow Circle 2 range is I treated Circle 1 putting like the brand new players did. So for a while, I would just step in front of my lie and practice from tap-in range just to feel what it's like to, number one, have my plant foot anchored on the ground, so it's a legal putt, and then also what the weight shift actually feels like when you're moving through a step putt. Just practicing from short range was so helpful for me, and gradually I started moving back to the edge of Circle 1 and then outside of Circle 1, and the stroke felt almost the same. Once you get the footwork and the timing down from a short range, then you gradually build back to Circle 2. Now, I do want to make a quick disclaimer for those of you watching who are truly new players to the sport of disc golf. No, you cannot step putt, like I was saying, inside of the 10-meter circle. And if you play casually, there probably isn't a circle at 10 meters around each basket. If you do ever play a tournament, you're gonna see feathers or some sort of paint to mark a 10-meter circle around the basket. Well, what that means is if your disc is inside of that range, you are not allowed to cross your lie until the disc comes to rest. So what that means is you have to throw your putt and remain balanced behind your mini. Otherwise, that's a foot fault and that's a stroke penalty. So you have to wait till you're outside of Circle 1 to do any of the things that I've just said. Now, the putt that I'm going to show you and the mechanic I'm about to show you doesn't infinitely scale back. A shallow Circle 2 putt can be a deadly weapon if it's done correctly and also done legally. These are the two things that I'm going to talk about here. The shallow Circle 2 step putt that I have adopted recently is a spin step putt. So I'm not coming down here like my normal push putt. I'm just bringing the disc in and out as I'm carrying my weight forward. So a couple things to make note of if you are not a spin putter by default, maybe you push putt everything and you're trying to switch to something new, is when we spin putt, when we make this little spin step putt happen, we don't need our arm to be making any big motions. And number one, big one, is we don't need our arm hinging like this. We don't need to be actually making a throwing motion. Again, this is not from 175 feet. This is just outside the 10-meter circle. So the thing I'd rather say is bring the whole arm in and bring it out this way. We don't want any hinging here. We want everything moving forward as much as possible. And then the timing with the arm and the wrist in this spin stepper is, number one, our wrist is not going to be breaking from here to here. Our wrist is going to be breaking from a broken position to a flat position. That's a much stronger position than here to here. So the timing with that wrist motion is as the arm begins to bring that disc forward, that's when our wrist is activating. Our wrist activates the moment the disc starts to move forward. We don't wait till the very end and then pop our wrist. Everything is moving together. So once you get that timed with the step of just letting your weight carry forward, you have a very consistent and replicatable motion that is a deadly weapon from the shallow area of Circle 2. Okay, so again, what we learned from practicing from a short distance is we're gonna try to anchor our back foot as long as possible until the disc is out of our hand. It's a very quick kind of a 1-2 motion, and that's why this step putt sometimes gets scrutinized, because some people freeze frame it and you see that back foot off the ground before the disc leaves the hand. Your whole goal from practicing from that short distance is to practice that timing of letting go and then letting the back foot go if you need it. So here, I'm just gonna keep things simple with my upper body and let the foot and my weight carry me towards the basket. Well, that's gonna do it for us today. I hope you at home learned a little bit more about how to approach long-range putting. We'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in. And if you want more content on this very topic, make sure to watch the same episode on the Disc Golf Network.